is the KUSI News at 6.
Have you ever heard of the sports Watchdog? You're about to. Please allow me to introduce the 17-year-old young man by the name of Mason Kern. He is a teenager by day and an NC2A hoops expert by night. And Mason, kind enough to roll down the 15 all the way from Poway to join us in the studio for a Final Four preview.
Yeah.
Welcome to the KUSI Airwaves, young man.
Thank you for having me.
As mentioned, you are a Poway Titan. What year in school are you?
I am. I'm a senior here at
And
Poway.
Obviously you want to do this for a living, right?
I do, yes.
Your dream job would be?
Taking over after you, Prep Pigskin Report.
All right, let's make that 2030 or something like that, right?
Yeah, something like that.
All right, so we're looking at the Final Four right now. How many of these Final Four teams were you able to accurately predict?
Two teams.
I'm going to guess. Gonzaga, North Carolina.
That's correct, yes, the two number ones.
All right, so the Final Four looks like this right now.
Yep.
We're just going to quickly go through it. We're going to we'll go in chronological order.
Okay.
South Carolina and Gonzaga are up first on Saturday. Why will Gonzaga win this game?
I think Gonzaga is a very versatile team. They have a really good defensive efficiency rating. They're number one in that, but they're also really good on the offensive end as well. With Jordan Matthews, he's their X factor. If he starts draining in the threes, it's going to be really hard for South Carolina to beat them, but it's going to be really low scoring either way, but I think it's going to be great.
Okay, why will South Carolina win the game?
Although Gonzaga is a very good team, South Carolina is really great as well. Their defensive efficiency rating is number 2, only behind Gonzaga, so they also have had a Cinderella story, honestly. They've beaten a 2, 3, and 4 seed teams in this tournament, so it's going to be really competitive. It should be a lot of fun.
First game on Saturday, Gonzaga against South Carolina. Who wins?
Like I said, I think it is going to be really low scoring. It's going to be quite competitive. I'm going to take Gonzaga in this one.
Okay, so Gonzaga's going to win that. Before we leave South Carolina, we have a quote from their coach, Frank Martin. I want you to react to this. The quote reads, "You know what makes me sick to my stomach? When I hear grown people say that kids haven't changed. Kids haven't changed. Kids who don't know anything. What has changed is adults. We demand less of kids. We expect less of kids. We make their lives easier instead of preparing them for what life is truly about. We're the ones that have changed. You're a kid. I'm adults. Who's changed?"
I think we both have changed, honestly. Kids have had to change, become more adaptable in sports as well. I mean, kids I know who should have made varsity teams in school haven't. We've had to adapt to change. I think we've changed. Adults have changed too. They help out a little bit, but I honestly think us kids, we have to change too.
All right, so let's go to the nightcap. In the main event, it is North Carolina against Oregon.
Yeah.
Why do the Ducks win this game?
Well, the Ducks, after they've done really well this tournament, after they lost Chris Boucher, it was really hard for them. But Jordan Bell has played really well for them lately. He recorded 8 blocks against Kansas, so his rim protection, he's their X factor. If he plays well against them, he's going to do really great, and they have a good chance.
Young man, why does North Carolina win this game?
Well, they're playing with a vengeance after they lost to Villanova in last year's tournament. They really wanted to step up, so they're playing really well right now. They're playing with ACC Player of the Year Justin Jackson. If he's raining threes 38% this year, they're going to be a really tough team to beat as well.
All right, young man, you've got Gonzaga in. Who will Gonzaga be playing in the finals on Monday?
I predict they'll be playing North Carolina. Sorry, Jimmy Fallon, your puppies, but we're going North Carolina.
Well, you bring that up because you're picking
North Carolina.
Hang on, let me so we just keep this for you're picking North Carolina.
I am.
As you mentioned, we roll the video. Jimmy Fallon's his puppies.
They did.
Pick the Ducks. What if the puppies show up to the sports Watchdog?
Well, honestly, they're just puppies. They're just grown for food. I'm the Watchdog. I know what I'm talking about. They're just puppies. They have been pretty accurate in the past, but I think I'm accurate this time around.
All right. Can we leave the NC2A just for a you want to talk a little NBA?
NBA, yes.
All right. There's a sort of a controversy, at least as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I can't watch the NBA All-Star Game anymore. They call it playground basketball. That's an insult to playground basketball because there's absolutely no defense played.
Yeah, none at all.
What is that? Can that be fixed? Can that be remedied?
I mean, honestly, the fans are, like you said, the fans are getting kind of worked up about it because it's like we go to these games and we see these games and they're 190-point scorelines, and yeah, that's fun in games for a little while, but it gets kind of boring. I think what we need to do is we need to have defense that leads to offense, get steals and blocks, make it a more fast-paced game, maybe a buzzer beater here to win West versus East, make it more competitive.
All right, let's and then the other NBA controversy that's really heating up right now is the schedule is 82. The regular season schedule is 82 games long.
It's pretty grueling, yeah.
And sometimes, even now in the NBA, it used to be back-to-back games were crucial. Now sometimes you play back-to-back-to-back games.
Yeah.
Sometimes on the road. NBA coaches are countering that by sitting their starters.
Yeah.
for fans who go to see LeBron James make that one visit to their town every year, and LeBron James doesn't get off the bench. First of all, what's your reaction to that? What is the solution?
Yeah, well, me personally, I'm not a fan. I think it's kind of selfish, honestly. I get it if you're injured and you have to rest because you're resting an injury or something, but if you're not injured, you really have no excuse. I think the coaches are making excuses for their players. Players back in the day didn't rest. I mean, athletes in today's game need to play for these the fans who show up, pay these high-ticket prices to come watch their favorite players play, and then they don't see them play, and it's like, wow, like, why did I even bother coming here? It's not that the second-rate players, they're still good, and it's still an exciting game, but it's just nice to see those stars who you pay to see play.
All right, so before we let you go, you're a senior at Poway, but you'll soon be heading to where will you be going to college?
Arizona State University, Walter Cronkite School of Journalism. That's where I'm going.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, young man, I have a feeling you're going to be very successful in this business.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, Mace and Kern, everybody. I want to encourage everybody to check out Mace. Before we come out here, we do a Facebook Live interview, and Mason was as entertaining in that. So go to PPR Papa Pig's Facebook page, and you can see that. And also, earlier Friday, Carlsbad 5000 hopeful Paul Chalimo